Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Dante Elephante podcast. This is episode 77 with Fonteyn. This is an interesting episode because this is an episode while I was on tour with Okie Dokie, and I realized we haven't talked in a while. This is also the first podcast of 2022. It's 2022. Where do we start? I just want to start off by saying thanks to everyone for being so patient. I am back from tour. I just did another run in Chicago, which was awesome. We ended up doing an audio tree. I DJ'd on House of Vans, which was insane. And then we played Lawrence, Kansas, and we played Shubas. Shubas is one of those great venues I've always heard of, but I've never played. So to me, it was really great to finally see that place. It was the perfect venue. It's a 200 cap room, but it feels like those Elvis style theaters. I call them Elvis theaters because they're all wood and they sound so good. And there's such a vibe there, and it's really neat. It's really cool, and it just feels really nice. And it's very the stage is super vintage looking, but then the rest of the bar is nice and high end, and the green room was clean. It didn't feel like it was falling apart, and it was great. And shout out to Audio Tree. I guess Audio Tree owns that venue, and they own Lincoln Hall. I'm learning all this on this trip, and shout out to the people of Audio Tree. Our session was live streamed, but it officially comes out, I don't know, I think they're going to tell us soon. But Audio Tree is they're the fucking best, and there's a reason why they're the best. We showed up, we loaded in. I didn't film any of this just because it was going to be such a hectic day. But we showed up, we just plugged right in, and we're you guys ready? Here's, you can control your mix on this little box underneath the microphone, on a microphone stand. And you could just control your old mix. And it sounded great. It sounded insane. It was easily the best live session we've done, and definitely the easiest. I don't know. It was just awesome. I can't say enough good things about the people at Audio Tree who are working at Audio Tree and the actual session itself. It's it's awesome. It's really cool. I love Chicago. I'm always really stoked to hang out in Chicago and spend as much time there as possible. It's just such a vibe, and the people love Dante Elephante. And if you listen to the podcast and came to the shows, thank you so much for coming out to the shows. If you saw us with Okie Dokie, thank you for coming out to those shows. I didn't get to talk. I promoted that on the last episode, but I didn't really get the chance to talk about that tour or anything leading up to it. And that's okay, because it was it was a mixed bag. You get some good shows, you get some bad shows, but overall it was a very good show. It was fun to hang out with Okie Dokie and May Powell. May Powell was really talented. She was the first of three every night, and we really loved her songs, and it was just a good vibe there, a good hang. And that's half the battle, right? Is becoming a good hang. And I don't know. But it was really cool. It was nice. It was some funny places on the road, man. Spokane, however you say it. Now that's a weird place. But it was a good vibe. We rolled into Spokane. I keep calling it Spokane. It's not Spokane. I keep calling it that. And we rolled into Spokane, and of course, as soon as we were driving to the Airbnb, there's just a Christian anti-abortion, a pro-life rally happening right around the corner from my Airbnb, and which is one thing. You're okay, well, that's their opinion, and then there's children. Okay, now that gets a little weird for me, but it was a good vibe. It was a really good vibe, and I think I'll be back there again. I don't know. I have another tour I need to. That's already announced. If you are interested in seeing Dante Elephante live, it is a bit of a shit show. It's pretty fun. It's a pretty wild time. We are going on tour, and I will scroll the dates here. You can find tickets at www.danteelefante.com/tour, and come catch us live. Yeah. So once again, we flew to Chicago. Played tomorrow, Never Knows Fest. We recorded an Audio Tree. I got to do a podcast with my buddy Jacob Sigmund, who will be on the podcast next week, and which is really great because I've been following him on TikTok for a while, and I really love his his work, and he was so funny live, and he's such a good hang. Again, we're going back to a similar theme: be a good hang. But it was cool. I guess I should talk about this episode because I think I recorded this episode in December, and as you can tell, I got a little sick on that Okie Dokie tour. It was not COVID. I tested negative for COVID. I still have not gotten COVID, but you never know. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think I had it then, but if you can hear me on this podcast, I'm a little sniffly. I tested negative, so I was, I don't know. To my knowledge, I did not have it, and I don't want to get it. So, I've gone this far without getting COVID. I think I'm doing pretty good. And if I could, I don't know. I'm not making any more. I realized I made a lot of predictions on this podcast and how I thought COVID was going to end like within a year. And I was wrong. So I'm not making any more predictions, but I think I can make it through this year. Again, that'd be ideal because I do think this is the final year. But that's just me. I think every year is the final year. But, I don't know, man. This shit can't go on forever, or it will. We're absolutely going forever. This episode was filmed in Salt Lake City. We played at a place. Oh man, where did we play in Salt Lake? I can't remember the venue. Oh, we played at Kilby Court. Played Kilby Court with Okie Dokie. It was really fun. Great energy, a nice young audience, which is awesome. And the next morning, I woke up. We spent the night at our friend Denny's house in his basement. And Fonteyn's a great singer-songwriter based in Salt Lake City, but she's originally from London. You'll hear the whole story. This episode is a little short, but what can you do? I think this is a really good episode. I think we'll have more to talk about once her album is out. And so this one's a little short, and we did have to go to the next city. We could not be late, as sometimes Dante Elephante is a little late. Sometimes we're not going to show up to a show because we get stuck in the blizzard. Maybe things like that happen, but that's okay. But we had to leave early, so this is kind of a short interview. And yeah, we had a good time. I think once her album's out, all of this will make more sense, but she is in this vein of like a Harry Nilsson, Margot Goulian, R.I.P. Take a moment of silence for Margot, please. Todd Rundgren, you could even say Todd Rundgren. She has all these different influences. Carole King. It's really great, and I'm hyping it up a lot, but I did get the private SoundCloud link, and the juice is worth the squeeze. It's very good, and I can't wait for it to finally come out. Hopefully they find the label for it, and hopefully it comes out soon because it is really good. It's really great. What else? Okay, let's just talk about the Spotify dilemma here that everyone's talking about, so I might as well talk about it too. But Joe Rogan, the issue with Joe Rogan, misinformation, and Neil Young, and now this morning Joni Mitchell are both pulling out of Spotify, which I think is hilarious. I did tweet this out earlier today, but I hate the fact that Neil Young and Joni Mitchell pulled out of Spotify because of Joe Rogan, because Rogan is spreading misinformation. How about when Spotify wasn't paying us? Like this platform that is built off the back of musicians, and not just current songs, but like old catalogs of like Zeppelin's on Spotify now, the Beatles are on Spotify. And like the fact that the working musician, aka me, my friends, people who've heard on this podcast, you, if you're a musician listening to you, the songs that you're putting out, you're not getting paid shit for them. And this is like the main source of discovery, and it's such a bummer. And I really wish these artists would have stepped up when we were fighting for equal pay, for fair pay, versus this like a quarter of a penny or an eighth of a penny every time someone plays your song. Like, where were they pulling? Where was all this activism and all this? It's just bullshit. Like, I really wish they could have, the big players, right? Like someone like Neil Young steps down. Okay, that can push the needle. If Dante Elephante takes his stuff off Spotify, then that doesn't do anything. People just forget about me. I will just be forgotten. So I don't have the power or the legacy to like push the industry around. So people like Neil Young and Joni Mitchell, which is great. And some people are, I bet David Bowie would do the same thing. You don't fucking know. David Bowie may have done the same thing, but we don't know. I just saw some funny tweets that said that today. Yeah, like, I bet so-and-so would have done this if they were, I bet Prince would have done this if you're, Prince didn't even want to be on Spotify. So if you see Prince on Spotify, that's not the workings of Prince, that's for sure. I don't know. I just think it's really insane that these artists are stepping up now because of Rogan. And I do believe, I stopped listening to Rogan at the beginning of the pandemic because I just thought it was so annoying. Every episode, he was ruining perfectly good interviews with some funny comedians to talk about COVID, and it just got so annoying. I just got tired of hearing it. So I checked out and stopped listening to Rogan. Like pretty much at the beginning of the pandemic, he just wouldn't shut the hell up about it. And it got annoying. And so I haven't kept up. I'm assuming that the kind of shit he was saying was continuing, and it's just gotten worse, and who knows? But then again, I don't know, because I don't listen to the show anymore unless someone I like is really on there. I just think my whole point and what I'm getting to is I think it's funny that Joni Mitchell and Neil Young are stepping up now. What? We needed you earlier when it was about musicians, trying to get equal pay. I don't know. These are the kind of things I was thinking about today. It's Saturday. You're listening to this on Tuesday, but I don't work today. I'm not doing anything today. We upgrade our internet, so hopefully I can start streaming on Blast again. I played some video games in the morning just to test it out, and I was like, wow, it's amazing when you just have some decent upload speed, how fast you can get things done. I don't know. It's awesome. It's a lazy day. I'm meeting up with Rafa Rose. He's working on some new songs today, so I'm going to go record with him in a little bit. But I just wanted to hop on here and talk, get the intro done, and enjoy this episode 77 with Fonteyn. Super wide. Okay. Let's end. I just woke up. Let's just get into it.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Tell the people who you are.
Okay.
Do you have any announcements, anything you need to promote right now? Because I realize people do not listen to the end of these things.
Oh.
So we promote them now.
Okay.
In the beginning.
Yeah.
While people are listening.
Yeah, that's a good plan. I'm Fonteyn. And what do I have to promote? I have a show if you're in the Salt Lake City area on January the 20th at the Metro. And I have a single coming out, but we don't have a date yet. So yeah, I guess that's just the show for right now.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
The Metro is huge.
I know. It's gonna feel maybe quite empty. I don't know.
My first show in Salt Lake City was at the Metro, and it was very empty.
Yes.
It was not fun. But it was fun because that's how I met Danny and I met a bunch of cool people. But
yeah, it's a good stage. I'm like, yeah. So we'll see.
That's awesome. Yeah, I guess we should let the audience know we are in Salt Lake City. I am on tour right now. We have 2 shows left, so by the time this comes out, the tour will be over. So I'm not promoting dates. And yeah, so we're in Salt Lake. So you're obviously not from Salt Lake.
No.
We can hear your accent.
How did I end up here?
How did you end up here?
Yeah, I'm originally from England. I came to America quite some time ago, maybe 14 years plus ago. And I started off in LA, as an actress, as you tend to do. And yeah, I was there for a really long time, and decided to move here to just have a little bit of an easier life, pay less rent and write more songs. And it's been really great for that.
So you went to LA first.
Yeah.
Then how'd you pick Salt Lake? How'd you hear about Salt Lake?
Yeah. So I there's a massive Salt Lake community amongst the people that I met in Salt Lake. And my partner's family lives here. So that's the Salt Lake connection. And yeah, there's an amazing music community here, and it's really chill.
How different is London to Salt Lake?
Oh, it's night and day.
Really?
It's so I think and you know, London's also very different to LA, but here, like going to like the DMV or doing something like you don't want to do, the people are so nice. Hey, how are you?
Yeah.
You know, they make it so comfortable. So that's really nice. Like a warm hug wherever you go.
Yeah.
In London, it's not like that. And in LA, it's not really like that
No,
either.
it's not like
So
that either.
yeah.
Going to the DMV in LA was the worst experience of my life. I went once in the 3 years I was living there, and it was the worst thing I ever did in my life. Yeah.
Here, it's really pleasant, and you're in and out in 15 minutes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone asks you about your accent here.
I
feel like in LA they're like, yeah, we know British
yeah,
people exist.
I know, the
in New
dime.
York they're like, we get it. Like, but here they're like, wow.
I know. Well, I do this weird thing where I hope this doesn't make me look bad. If I'm just ordering like a coffee or like to-go food or something, I'll do an accent.
An American accent.
Because I just don't want to. I just want to blend in.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
yeah.
I don't want to like anyone to give me a second look.
Yeah.
It's only when I actually meet somebody. But yeah, I guess they do. I don't know. People. I'm trying to think. These guys are all just like, oh, you're English, whatever. I don't know.
I know, but
I wish I was more special. But...
Oh, you are special. In America, you are special. We love an English accent. People love doing their version of the English accent. And
I love to hear it.
Oh, I can't do it. But
Okay.
like lots of people, I've heard lots of people. My drummer does one. My drummer's been doing one this whole tour.
I want to hear it.
I know. I put him on the spot last night. He got camera shy.
Yeah, I get it.
I get it.
Yeah.
So yeah, Denny from Boys Ranch sent me your album yesterday, and we listened to it in the car, and it's really good. I know we
Thank
can't
you.
talk too much about it because there's no release date, and it's
I
still
know.
working.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, we were saying that we were listening to it, and it was like we were just yelling out references, like, oh, it's this, it's Margot Gurion, it's fucking Harry Nilsson, it's Burt Bacharach, like it's all these different things. Like, what kind of music did you grow up listening to? Let's go back to the start. You're in England.
Yeah.
What are you listening to?
I remember music of the 70s making a big impact on me when I was really little, like the Carpenters. My dad had a Carpenters album and a Carole King album. And there's something about those chords that I didn't know that then, but that would put me in this weird trance. And I took a few piano lessons when I was younger, and then I quit. But I sought out those chords, and it was always my favorite feeling. I just think they are such a mood more than any other chords you could play on the piano, right? And anyway, I didn't pursue music. I'm a latecomer to music. I was doing musical theatre and acting and other things, and then I was in a band making a completely different kind of music, and I thought, oh, I want to go back to those songs, and whenever I hear them, it feels like me. And that's when I, went back to the sound of the Carpenters and Carole King and Todd Rundgren, and I thought, this is the kind of music I want to do. So I we're very young. We had the 70s influence, but then I also had a lot of, Whitney and Mariah and 90s R&B, and like I was into show tunes. I was a musical theatre kid, and then I love new wave music. I don't know, a lot of stuff. Right. But the 70s stuff is, I don't know, it puts me in this mood.
I agree. As soon as I found out about like the major seventh, I was like, that's it. That's that sound. What is that?
What is that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I love it. I put it like in every song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm not good at music theory, but everyone around me is. And then there's another chord that they call the 4/5. You know what I'm talking about? It's like it's like a sunset.
It's
dun
like,
dun dun dun. It's usually like one of those.
Yeah. It's like a 4/5.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Those two.
Yeah.
All
Or
day,
it's like
every
a G,
day.
but the top is an A.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a C over a D.
Yeah. Those are
F
I love
over a
those.
G.
The first song I learned that chord was the Loving Spoonful. You didn't have to be so nice. And it does that. It's like,
Yeah.
You didn't have to be so nice.
Yes.
I would have liked you anyway. And it does that A with the B on top.
Mhm.
I was like, oh, that's that chord
Yeah.
I've been looking for. Yeah.
I can't get enough of them. You'll find them in every song.
Totally.
Yeah.
And the more and more I like relearn all these old songs that I love, they really are everywhere. And it's like, oh, okay, these are the tricks they're doing.
Yeah, that's that feeling.
The Bee Gees and all them, everyone used those chords.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Wait. So you were playing in different bands. What were you playing in? Other just keys?
Yeah. So I'm not the best musician. So I've always sung. So I was singing, and I played a smattering of keyboard, I would call it. I didn't know any music. I didn't know what I was playing, what the notes were called. Now I do, just about. But it was kind of like a mood rock. Had some new wave influence, very, very different than what I'm doing now. But it was cool. But the more proficient I got at kind of writing and playing, I was like, okay, I think I want to do something different, Whoa. Yeah.
How long were you in that band for?
I was in that band, oh gosh, maybe like 4 years. And we played around Eastside LA, all that stuff. Yeah.
What part of LA were you in?
Yeah, I kind of all over. So I started in Atwater, and then Echo Park, and then Silver Lake, and then the last place I lived was Highland Park.
Oh yeah.
And everything gradually getting more shishi as the years have gone on. Echo Park is very, very different than in 2006 when I was there, which is a long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago now.
Yeah. But I love LA.
Yeah.
I miss it.
LA's awesome. I was in Highland Park in 2015 to like 2000. No, it was like 15, 2017, 18-ish.
Yeah.
And it was already taking over. And now it's even crazier. I'm like, oh man, every time I go, I'm just like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
It's changed so much.
It has. But it's fun.
Yeah, LA's fun. At least for Highland Park, it's like the one walkable neighborhood. Like you can really walk to stuff there.
Definitely.
Which is what I really loved. I was like walking everywhere, and like LA. Sorry. LA is not very walkable, yeah. The LaCroix got me.
Do you say LaCroix or LaCroix?
LaCroix, because I think the slogan is enjoy LaCroix.
Okay, I missed that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I think if it was French, it'd be LaCroix. But I think it's New Orleans.
Okay.
I don't know.
LaCroix, I need to start saying that.
That's okay. That's awesome, man. So when did you start tracking this record? When did you start writing these songs?
Yeah, I've been attempting to write this kind of music for actually quite a while.
Yeah.
And as I say, I had no musical knowledge, so I really struggled to put together songs that weren't really complex, just because I didn't understand song structure and didn't know what the chords were. And that's what people would tell me when they heard my songs. And then I finally figured it out. Oh, okay, I should probably learn this stuff. So I don't know. For the part, it's been a couple of years, I think, that I've been okay. I'm actually writing songs that make sense. But this record I started in January 2020, and I just wanted to write simple pop songs. I know there's a few that aren't simple on there, but most of them are pretty 3.5 minutes or something. And that was I wrote tons of songs in 2020, and then just picked the ones I thought were the best, and started recording. And it's kind of slow,
right?
It takes its time, but the end is in sight.
Yeah. Okay, so when you said you started in January 2020, you started writing?
Started writing, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then
started tracking towards the end of that year.
Towards the end of 2020.
Yeah.
What was it? Yeah. Oh man. We were talking about this. We were joking about this last night, but how was the pandemic? The heat of the pandemic for writing for you? Were you able to write in the heat of it?
Yeah, I
that's good.
It was good. There's nothing else to do, so it was good. It was good for writing for me.
How did you spend your time in the lockdown? Were you working still, or what were you doing?
I was doing a little bit of work. My little side gig is I teach singing, so I would do that online, and I would write music, and that's kind of what I would do. I'm thinking what else I did. Not much. Yeah, just that. Yeah.
Well, that's good. It's good to have a gig.
Yeah, it's good to have a gig.
It's good to have a little gig.
Totally.
Because I lost like because I was DJing before the pandemic. I couldn't do that anymore. So I was just like moved in with my dad and was on unemployment, and it's just like sucked.
Yeah.
And it sucked all the life out of me.
Yeah.
Besides this podcast, I didn't know what the hell to do.
Yeah.
And I tried to write. I wrote a little bit, but yeah, I think this podcast really saved me mentally because it gave me a sense of like, oh, I'm busy. I have to do this today.
Right.
Oh, I'm recording a podcast today. Like, I have to edit a podcast now. I have to do all this now. Like,
yeah.
And that kind of stuff made me feel good. I also did Patreon for a while. Did you get into Patreon at all?
I haven't. How'd you like it?
I didn't really like it. I thought it was fine. It felt weird asking for money. It felt weird, like, I don't know. It felt weird that they took like so much of the cut.
Okay.
Like 20% or whatever. It's like, what do you do?
Yeah.
Like, couldn't I just do this by myself?
Right, totally.
So there was a lot of different things that I didn't really like about it, but yeah, I don't know. I think it was important to stay busy in the pandemic, so I like had a sense of like structure because all structure and time was gone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of pressure to be creative, wasn't there?
Right,
like,
there was.
And maybe some guilt if you didn't
write
yeah. 2 albums in that time, So yeah, it affected everyone differently, but.
Yeah, well, that's great.
Yeah.
So when you started tracking the record, okay, so the songs are done. How did you go about tracking it? How did you find
Denny? Yeah. Denny's been such a huge help. We were introduced through a friend who said, you guys like the same kind of music. And I showed Denny the first song that I wrote, and he was really into it. And we didn't have like we just kind of took it song by song and just kind of dove in. I remember we found this piano. We wanted to use, I had this idea. I wanted everything to be recorded on tape, which is a great idea.
It's a good starting point.
Yeah. Some of it is, some of it isn't. But yeah, we found this piano that didn't work. We got it fixed 3 times.
Oh, really?
So yeah, there was a lot of like false starts. I ended up buying a cheap piano and we recorded on that. And yeah, Denny's got a little studio in downtown Salt Lake City. We just did a ton of stuff there.
Cool.
And we took little field trips. Like we have some real vibraphone from his old professor at the college up there, which was fun. And I was in LA randomly, and I did a studio day at Valentine's, which was really fun. I just packed in, can we do 5 songs, vocals and piano? And and then I pulled in talented friends to play different instruments on it.
So what parts were on tape? You said you guys did do a little tape. What was the
little tape? So we did some tape drums on a Tascam.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cassette tape. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we've when I was at Valentine's, it's on tape. So we've got some nice piano. Really great sounding.
So you said you had that broken piano.
Yeah.
Is the broken piano on the record, or did you redo everything?
We ended up redoing it. It just didn't have the right feel.
Yeah.
The broken piano, but it would have been a good story. Actually, the first song that we did is a song called Girl on a Motorcycle, what we recorded on this amazing grand piano, and old friend of Denny's, I think it's his old singing teacher. And the song is just 2 chords back and forth. Dun, 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 dun. And we got 2 takes in, and it was an older gentleman, and he couldn't stand listening to it, and another take, and kind of kicked us out, which is kind of funny. But luckily we got the take that we could use. Yeah.
He was a lot older.
He's a lot older. He told us, no one in this business will give you that much time unless you're Marilyn Monroe.
Oh,
that's exactly
okay. Wow, that's an old reference.
Yeah,
it's a very old reference.
I know.
Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, we had some funny things happen like that, but yeah.
I was working at Valentine. I heard that place is like a museum frozen in time.
Exactly like that. It's just so inspiring to be there. And I was in the big room because the small room wasn't available. It's this, they have carpet on the walls and everything looks great. The piano sounded awesome and recorded on tape. I'd love to go back. Yeah, so
do you remember
good.
what kind of microphone you sang into?
Yeah,
Was it like old?
It was old. Yeah, we did a Neumann. I was like, put me on whatever Karen was singing.
Yes.
Just, still didn't sound like her, but yeah.
I was gonna say, have you listened to Karen Carpenter's solo album?
Yes, the one that they never released.
Yes.
It makes me so sad.
I talk about that record all the time. I love that record. It's like all disco and
you
mixed
see
with some rock stuff.
Yeah, and she sings high, which you never hear her do.
Yeah, it's true. And the arrangement's crazy. It's like Rod Temperton wrote a lot of the songs, and even Quincy Jones put this out.
Yeah,
it's so good.
It should have been put out. I think it's really sad. It was like, didn't Richard talk her out of it or something?
Yeah, I know they did some songs like on their final albums together. Like they did like Make Believe It's Your First Time.
Mm-hmm.
They like re-recorded that as with like a Carpenter's production with strings and all that.
Yeah.
But on the solo album, it's just like her and the piano, which is really great.
Yeah.
It's really soft and delicate. And I tell everyone about that record. It's so good. I found it at a Goodwill. I found the CD at a Goodwill. It's like Karen Carpenter. I didn't know she had a solo album.
Yeah.
And I just bought it.
That's such a lucky find.
Yeah.
I found it on YouTube. Not as cool, but yeah.
Yeah. Going down the rabbit hole of the Carpenters. It's funny because when I was younger, I got made fun of by like family members for liking the Carpenters. Like, why do you like them? Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think the Carpenters have always struggled with never being cool, but they are cool.
Yeah.
It just depends on what your definition of it is. Yeah. I don't know.
It was like, older family members, I guess, who had just like, that was like their parents' music, or it was like whatever it was just like, that's not cool music. And it's weird because it was like I was simultaneously like listening to punk music and the Carpenters. Like it was weird. It was like a weird time in my life in high school. Like, yeah.
I know what you mean.
I know. There's a few bands like that. Like I discovered Harry Nilsson, Nilsson in high school. I guess just being a massive Beatles fan. Those little tree branches.
Yeah, led you off to
Nilsson. You get to Nilsson, and then after that, you get to the Carpenters. Yeah.
Another album that kind of when I was in my teens was the Virgin Suicide soundtrack, which kind of opened me up to like listening to Heart and Styx and stuff, because that album, all the songs they played in that, I was entranced. What is this music?
Yeah.
I think that's how I discovered Todd Rundgren.
Oh, cool.
Actually, I wasn't even a teen. I was like 11 or 12 or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a great album too. Of an introduction of just really good 70s music.
Oh, totally. I used to watch those paid programmings on television. It was like, songs of the 70s. And I would stay home. I'd watch them because I wasn't really allowed out of my house past 10. It was like a strict curfew. So I would like illegally download every song I liked.
Nice.
And on that, like, songs of the 70s is played Hello, It's Me. And I was like, oh my God. And then that like took me down a crazy rabbit hole of like finding out Todd Rundgren. And like, yeah.
I went to a Utopia concert a few years ago in Vegas. And after the show, it was in the Hard Rock Hotel. I went to the bathroom, came out, and there's Todd. And I've never been so starstruck. I really made a fool of myself. But I waddled over and just sort of mumbled that, I loved him.
Yeah.
And he said, I said, how are you here? Are you doing a show? I said, no, I came to see you do a show. I hadn't expected me to be at that show. And the sad thing is no one believes me because I didn't take a picture of it because I had a cracked phone at the time. Oh. I didn't want to take out the phone. I was embarrassed.
I don't want Todd to see my cracked phone.
It was really bad. It was like you have to like kind of, to get it to work, you have to tilt it. And anyway, but yeah, that was awesome.
I saw him at South by Southwest.
Oh, cool.
And that was cool. I was like, wow, I get to see Todd Rundgren. Yeah. But like, yeah, it'd be so cool to meet him.
Yeah.
Have you met anyone else?
None of my idols. Just Todd. Yeah.
I met some people I really liked, like doing music. You do music for so long. and then you just meet people along the way, and then like 5 years later, hey, they're like famous now. And you're like, there's moments like that. I've had that, but like I don't think
it's gonna be like that with you.
I don't think they're famous. I think they're just my friends.
Like, that's cool.
But other people are like, wow, you know so and so. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It's just that person who was at the show that one time. Like, yeah,
that's awesome.
I don't know. Oh man, so do we have plans? What's the plans for the record? What's the plan? When will people hear this record?
Yeah, so we just we shot a little DIY music video, which is really fun.
Ooh.
We found a Super 8 camera in storage.
Oh, cool.
And we just rolled the dice that it would work, and it did work.
It did?
So me and my friend, we shot it, and I'm cutting it together, and
you digitized it?
Digitized it.
Yeah.
There's a great
What was
place.
that process?
So there's just the place in LA that does it. You just send it off, and then they send you back these little digital films. It's great. Which was awesome. And what's great about Super 8 is because, you know, I had to do this myself on like no budget. So I figured, well, if it's on Super 8, it's always going to look good, even if the content isn't brilliant. So
it's going to have a vibe.
It's going to have a vibe. Yeah. So glad I took that gamble. Anyway, so yeah, the song is pretty much finished. It's final rounds of mixing. So I'm hoping that, I don't know, January, February.
Oh,
probably
next year.
February.
Yeah.
It'll come out, first single. And then we'll probably release a few singles and then the album. So next year, for sure.
So you have a show coming up. When's the show again?
Yeah, it's January 20th at the Metro.
20th. Okay, so that's the first show.
We need to fill up that big room.
You're headlining?
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
it's such a big room. I don't mean to. I don't mean to. No. I don't mean to freak you out. But like, it's a big room.
I know. That's what I meant. It's a big room. So come on.
If you live, 20th. please, we're begging you. We're begging you. Please come to the show on the 20th.
Fill up the room.
Will the single be? So do you think the single will be out by then? That might help.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, I think we could do it. What do you reckon, Denny? January 20th.
Do we think the single can be out by the 20th? Oh, that's he's not looking confident.
He's not looking, because you got to do all that promo stuff. That's the thing I'm worried about.
Yeah.
But
there's a lot that goes into it. Okay, so it won't be out by then.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
You get to hear it though.
Yeah, you'll hear it. If you come to the show, you'll hear it.
Yeah.
Oh man. What else? What else do you want to talk about?
I don't know. I think that's...
Oh, okay.
I know.
Wait, what are you playing on stage? What are you playing on stage?
She's got nothing else to talk about. I play keys on stage. I play an SV1 Korg keyboard.
Yeah.
Mimicking the sounds of a piano
like
and a Rhodes.
Yeah. Oh, and a Rhodes. Okay, yeah. Remember, the Rhodes is heavy. The Rhodes is a pain in the ass. Emma and I were just talking about that. It's just like, it's so heavy. I have a Rhodes and I really love it. It's my favorite thing ever. And they're like super expensive now.
Yeah.
When I bought one, I bought it for $800, which seemed fair at the time.
Oh yeah, that's
and
great.
now they're crazy expensive.
Did you take it out on the road with you? Have
Never.
you?
No,
yeah.
it just sits in my room.
Yeah.
Yeah, it stays there.
Because they have to be tuned, right?
Right.
Yeah. So probably not great to travel with.
And they're heavy. And I feel like they're fragile.
Yeah.
As
But they look and sound amazing.
Yeah.
One of
great.
those.
And it's a 6-piece band?
It's 6 of us. It could be 7, but you've got to cap it somewhere.
Yeah,
we'll say just 6. Yeah.
What is it? What 6? 6 what?
6
Drums?
of us. So we've got me on the main keys. Julianne plays strings and flutes and things on a mellotron. And sings back up. Denny plays bass and trumpet and guitar now on a song. And then we've got Patrick, who plays lead guitar, trombone and bass on a song. Elowen, backup vocals, also plays bass and aux percussion, drums.
There's 3 bassists?
Well, they switch off. Yeah.
So that's a lot of bass.
3 basses going at the same time. It's a cool sound. Yeah, everyone switches off. Am I missing anyone?
Who plays guitar?
Patrick and Denny switch off
nice.
On different songs, and Blair on drums.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man, and you do want to tour? Have you
I
toured
do.
before?
No, I've never done it.
Oh,
I'm
you
like,
gotta do
how
it.
do you do it?
Oh
Tell
yeah,
me the
let's talk about how
secrets.
you tour. Okay. It starts off with booking, kind of weekend dates
Okay.
in the surrounding area. So for here, I don't know, I guess you would go to Boise or you'd go to
Yeah.
Colorado and just make a weekend out of it and kind of start planting seeds and trying to like connect with promoters and local bands and start building connections in that way before you go off and do like a West Coast tour. And it's just like, oh, why do we do this? No one knows who we are.
Okay.
We're playing empty shows because no one knows who we are. But that's also a very good way of like planting more seeds.
Yeah.
And hopefully, it's very reliant on like having the local openers and like building a connection with the local openers.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you handpick them yourselves, then you're gonna like them and you're gonna have a good time.
Awesome.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm like,
So start small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Start small, and then it grows and grows and grows, but it takes time. You have to be patient.
Okay.
One thing I've learned is that it's about the process.
Yeah.
It's about the process of getting ready for the tour. It's about the process of like making the record. It's not about the record release. When the record comes out, I always feel like empty inside.
I know what you mean.
Yes, it does. It's like it's on Spotify, and then I'm posting about it, but I don't feel anything.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
I know it is the process.
It's about the process of making
because
it.
While you're making it, you think this is going to change your world. This is the best thing ever, and then you slowly lose confidence.
Yes.
And then you're like, okay, it's okay.
And then you show it to labels, and they have their fucking opinions.
Yeah.
And they act like they did anything, like they've ever made anything in their life. So for them to like diss you, it's just so annoying. And then you say it to another label, and then they love it. And they're like, yeah, maybe, okay, you're the smart ones. Like, I don't know. Then you don't know who to believe. And I never know who to believe. So
yeah.
My insecurity just goes wild after we finish mixing and mastering. It's just like, okay, is this good or is this bad? I have no idea.
That's where I'm at right now. I'm in the peaks and the valleys of insecurity.
Yeah.
Every day it's different.
Every day it's different.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's about the process.
Exactly. It's about the process. Yeah.
Of enjoying the tracking and making the album art and the strategy behind like releasing a record. That's the fun part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Having the good times tracking.
The good times tracking.
Yeah. That's like the best part is like having fun in the studio.
Yeah, I agree. The writing, and then when you start to put in the instruments, you get a great idea that, if we add this, it's going to make it sound like that, and this is the best thing ever. Those are the moments.
Yeah. I love those are the best.
Yeah.
Oh, what if we did this? What if we did that? And then you do it, and then either works or it doesn't work. But you took that chance.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is super important. Well, yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I think I have to leave to the next town.
Oh yeah, you gotta go. You gotta be on stage.
But I do want to say thank you for talking with me.
Thank you for having me.
I can't wait for your